Well, holy smokes, we made a movie, like a real, actual movie.
Yay!
And by we, I mostly mean Andrew Triglia,
Andrew.
the director. But I'll just say we. It's like the royal we. I'll just take credit. I helped some. Yeah, the Jones Plantation is finished and it's out. I wanted to loudly announce that there will be a private screening at a theater in Tempe, Arizona, which is southeastern Phoenix, basically.
It's called Pollack Cinema.
And it's a cool little old-timey type place. And for that screening, we will be there in person, and Andrew will be there. The director will be there. We're going to do a Q&A afterwards, have a little chat with people. We may have a surprise guest that you don't even know about. So I'm not going to tell you.
Ooh. I don't even know who the surprise guest is.
You don't even know. We don't even know if he's going to be there, as a matter of fact.
Guys, if I don't know. It's a big deal.
It'll be a surprise to me if it works. But anyway, be that as it may. So yeah, June 3rd, Saturday night, starting at 8 o'clock, we are having a showing. Now, this is a private screening, and we'll have the link below for where to get tickets. We're selling the tickets for a measly $10. Like, I don't think any movies charge that little. But I wanted to emphasize the fact that as much as I want to see all you voluntarists and troublemakers there, because I think you'll totally love the movie, the reason we made it was not to preach to the choir. It was to make the rest of the world think.
Yep.
So whether you're talking about the Phoenix showing or any of the other theater showings that are going to follow, and then later it'll be a DVD and online, mainly what we want you people who are already on the same page as us to do is to get the rest of the world to watch it. And I think and this occurred to me when Andrew's the one who had the idea of making my old animated thing into a full-length feature film. And it occurred to me how powerful that could be, specifically because it's not preachy about here's what should be and here's why. It just tells a story, and anybody can follow the story, and the story's interesting and entertaining and at times traumatic. But the goal is to make them think and to make them recognize things about the society we live in right now. And people are going to do that. This movie will get inside their head, and it will make them think about stuff. And
it has that particular flavor that I think all good indie movies have, which is that it's weird.
Yeah.
So, like, it's gonna stick in people's heads because, like, I'm really happy to say I got cult classic vibes from it when I first watched it, because I was like, holy crap, this is not a thing that I've seen before on the screen, but it's good, and it's weird. It's weird. So I thought, well, weird is good, because a lot of the best movies ever done were weird, especially indie.
Yeah, and I just originally, I pictured it as just a sort of period piece drama thing, but it turned into something way weirder and way more modern. I'm not saying weird as an insult in any way. It's just way more, I think it'll be way more impactful and catch people off guard and make them think about stuff. Anyway, so it's out, it's done. We have a freaking movie, and it looks awesome because our director of photography was awesome. And Andrew literally almost killed himself making this movie, both in the shooting it when both of our immune systems had completely collapsed and it's 20 degrees outside in Mississippi, and then editing it for 1 billion months in a row, just hiding like a hermit in a cage.
I made a Facebook post that basically said to Andrew that I'm glad he didn't kill himself making this movie, and like I put that tilted laugh emoji, but I was being serious.
It was almost mostly. Literally. Yeah,
like it's one of those things where it's like, it's funny now, kind of.
Yeah.
But like the whole thing wasn't fun for a lot of the time. I know, and so he had to. Andrew was really a blessing to have, because he had to really care a lot about this happening for this to happen.
Yeah, because he just worked himself to death. And by the way, when I say we made a freaking movie, that also includes a bunch of you, because this was done by a Indiegogo campaign. And by the way, the post-production campaign is still open because we still want to promote it all over the place, and that costs money. And even just having a showing costs money to set it up. But it only happened because a bunch of you guys donated. And whether you donated a little bit or a whole bunch or whatever, that's what made this happen. And then Andrew stretched that tiny little budget of like $150,000 and made it look like a $5 million movie.
Yeah, he did an amazing job, and I have a whole new level of serious... I mean, I already had respect for the movie industry, but for the film industry at the indie level, at this tiny little budget, when you're just working with, like, almost nothing. Anybody in the film industry knows that $150,000 is...
nothing.
It's like working with crumbs.
It's what you pay for the credits or something.
So it makes everything tight and hectic and stressful to the nth degree. And I just appreciate so much more of the art that goes into this, and the artists also. Like, big shout out to the whole crew and cast. Like, Doug, Andrew's right hand man. Also, like, everyone that was our key roles in this. You guys killed it. Good job. It was a lot of work. So
yeah, the amazing thing is for all the miracles that had to happen, you won't be able to tell from watching it. It doesn't look like, well, we just barely made a movie. Like, he just barely made something that looks like it was perfectly done and perfectly put together, and just looks awesome and sounds awesome and everything. And I'm really dang proud of it, despite the fact that I didn't do most of it. So anyway, get there. I guess we don't have to prolong it too much. So I will say this. So the first private screening will be in Tempe, Arizona, June 3rd, which is a Saturday. Look at the link below. Get your tickets. Drag along any normies you have in your family or friends or whatever who you can get to watch it and see what they think and have a conversation about it afterwards. But this isn't the last screening, not by a long shot. It'll be happening.
It'll be lots more.
In lots of different cities. We're actually going to set up a thing so that people can arrange a showing at a theater in their own town. So we have a package so you can do it yourself. So start looking for your own theaters.
Yeah, so if you're like, how do I see this? How do I get more people to see this? There's your answer. It's going to be a thing where people can
make it happen yourself. And these days the theaters are really desperate anyway because nobody's going there. So a lot of them are renting out space, and you can just call them and say, I have a movie to show. How much is it to rent a room for 200 people or whatever it is?
Yeah, and you guys feel free to, like, find ways to have, like, a giant call it a giant watch party, but just a watch party. Like, call it a watch party. Make one happen. People will show up call it a watch party. People will show up for a watch party because it's like, okay, nice venue. We're going to include dinner with this. So it's like a dinner theater thing, and gets people all worked up. So the only other showing that's scheduled right now, there's going to be one in Dallas. Don't have the details yet. I think there's going to be one in Florida. Don't have the details yet. The only other one that we have the exact date and time is up at Porcfest, Porcupine Freedom Festival, at the end of June, on June 21st, I believe. There will be a showing at that event. And if you go to Porcfest, which is Porcfest, it sounds like a giant orgy. It's not. It's short for Porcupine Freedom Festival. If you go to name does sound... It's a little odd. But if you go to their website, you can get tickets for that thing. And so that's the only other confirmed showing that's scheduled. But there will be many more, and I will be loudly yelling about them. And again... I'm guessing, by the way, real quick, just to interrupt on the subject of showings, I'm guessing that we'll very likely have showings in the LA and Las Vegas areas. Yes. Just because those are obviously right by Phoenix. Okay. Yeah. Just wanted to clarify that for any of our Las Vegas and LA friends. Yeah. Yes. And given how many people I know in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area, I'm sure one will happen there. Some of these Andrew and I will be at, and some of them you'll be at.
but not all of them. But we will be at the one in Phoenix, and this is the first private screening of the finished version. We showed a rough version at Anarchapulco that wasn't all the way finished yet, but this will be the first private screening in Phoenix.
The crowd flipped out at the end of that
it.
one. Like, people loved it. I was so happy. I mean, I liked it too, and I was smiling the whole way through watching it the first time, because the rough cut of it, because I knew it was going to be good. But then the audience liking it at Anarchapulco, that was awesome to see.
Yeah.
So,
but as I've been saying the whole time, what I'm really interested to see is how it hits the rest of the world, because I think it's going to be really impactful. And instead of having people walk out and go, I totally agree with that part, I want them walking out going, whoa, I don't know what to think about that, and walking around in a dazed and traumatized by realizing they just saw the inner workings of the world they actually live in, and I want them to recognize that more and more as they go about their daily lives after having seen this movie. So please, for all the work that went into making this happen, that didn't do any good if people don't see it. So now it's up to you guys to get people to go see it. Of course, we're going to be doing that too, and we have a promotional team trying to do stuff. But the more you guys try to get this in front of normal people, the more it's going to start a conversation and really traumatize a lot of people in a very good way and get them thinking about things that they've never thought about before while being entertained. And I think, I've said before that I think even normal people are going to come out of this movie and be talking about it to other people. Like, have you seen the Jones Plantation? Whoa, I don't even know what to think of it. Because I think it's gonna make people think. Nobody can step out of the theater after that and just go, oh well, no brain activity whatsoever.
And also, mark my words that people will not be able, you'll get this later, just remember that I said this, people will not be able to watch, like see, political ads or hear them after the Jones Plantation without their brain going back to the moment they were watching the Jones Plantation.
Yes, lots of
just
things.
Just remember that I said that.
Yep, lots of things will make them go, because they'll recognize it, and then they'll actually know what's going on. Anyway, get your butt to the movie, get tickets below, and as soon as there are other screenings actually scheduled, I'll be posting the details of that on Facebook and here on YouTube and all over the place. But we want this to be huge. Obviously, we want it to be successful because we worked our butts off, but we also want it to be successful because that means lots of people are seeing it and it's making them think. And so with the amount of work Andrew put into this, now the work is on everybody else to get this in front of as many people as you can. So go get tickets, go watch the thing, and stay tuned for announcements of further screenings and showings and the online version and the DVD version and all the other stuff that is to come.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.